lot been going on. I was on vacation, so I've been off for like a week. I wanted to bring you on because to talk about this, the Texas Democrats, right? They're they're in some hot water because on August the 3rd, 50 Texas House Democrats left the state to break quorum and prevent a vote on the Republican redistricting plan aimed at redrawing congressional districts. The group encountered a bomb threat at their hotel in Illinois on August 6th, leading to evacuation, though no injuries occurred and proceedings remain stalled. Legal and political responses include efforts to address the redistricting proposal amid ongoing tensions. Now, some of them fled to New York. The rest of them fled to Illinois, i.e. Chicago. And that's why I wanted you to come on, to talk about what is going on with this.
Why these people here bothering us? So we got to realize that these people came here last week and they said that they were talking to JB Pritzker about gerrymandering and, weird stuff. Because we were thinking, why is JB down in Texas talking to the Texas Democrats? Well, they were passing out maps on how to get to the city of Chicago, but they're like outside of Chicago. What's really interesting about this, Miss Dana, is that Chicago and Illinois have been gerrymandered as well by the Democrats in a way that does not even make any sense. I mean, you got people who are on the south side of Chicago who have the same state rep as people who live on farmland in the middle of the state because of how they've cut up the state. They are playing. All of this is supposed to pull on our emotions. Now, Illinois is a sanctuary state for illegals. It's a sanctuary state for Democrats who don't want to work their jobs. But it's not helping the people of Illinois in any way. And that's what we are fighting against, how they got all this time and energy to help everybody but us.
Here's the thing, though, because apparently they chose Illinois, i.e. Chicago, and New York because they cannot legally be subpoenaed if they fled to those two states. So that is why they went to Illinois and New York. Now, if they come back to Texas, the more they delay, the more they're going to get in trouble. I think some of them even have a warrant out for their arrest. But I want to ask you, do you think with this redistricting will erase the black vote?
No, I don't think so at all. I think that it's going to erase the Democrat vote because, again, they're the ones who created these maps. Now, we also have to remember that the majority of our people, the Negro, we are Democrats. So instead of them making this a political conversation, they're going to try to emotionally enhance it and make it a racial conversation, which is why people like me and you are super important in this fight because we're not going to allow them to exploit our racial trauma like this anymore to advance the Democrat Party. They don't like us, America, in the world. The Democrat Party hates the Negro. They are the most Negro-phobic political party in the history of the United States of America. I don't understand why they want to play like this. But no, black people aren't going to lose anything. The Democrats are because they're not going to take away their right to vote.
Right. And I just said that, hey, maybe that black people just need to switch and become Republicans so that you can have more of a voice in the Republican Party if the Republican Party is going to be dominant.
Or the Democrats need to get out and organize in these new districts. I mean, they wrote these districts so that they wouldn't have to work hard. Here in the state of Illinois, we don't have any Republicans up here in the northern district where I am, none in Chicago, none in Cook County. You mean to tell me all 11 million people or 7 million people in Cook County want to be Democrats? No, but that's how they drew it. So now everybody has to get to work. My Donnie is making everybody work, even the politicians, because people have been playing for too long.
Yeah, and with these redistricting lines being redrawn out, you got Al Green, you have Jasmine Crockett, and it's another black representative. They're going to be battling each other just for that 1 or 2 seats now, right? So
Tough titty. I'm fighting. So I'm running for Congress, P-Ray for Congress, and I am running against the man who lives on my block. He is who the congressman endorsed last week. And I went to their endorsement party as a member of the block club and I clapped for him. So, hey, sometimes you got to go against the people that you like and love. But at the end of the day, if they are serious about being upset, get to work. What y'all getting mad for? Why are y'all up here in Cook County instead of down there in Texas doing the job that you were elected to do? You are the representative for your area. So you're supposed to be there representing all the people who got up, put their shoes on, and voted for you to speak on their behalf. But they chose to ignore and literally disenfranchise all of those people in order to push a political point for a party that does not care about us. They don't like us, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm in Chicago. They don't like us. Look at the data. But these black state reps and senators in Texas would rather disenfranchise their own people than go against the Democratic Party. Sound like a slave to me, Miss Dana.
yeah. And so they're just trying to so-called take a stand as if they're doing, something righteous, and they're not. I want
No,
to I want to play this clip here because who is this state representative Jolanda Jones, honey? Very sassy.
For Representative Plessa and your colleagues from Texas, what is your response to Governor Abbott, accusing you all of, possibly committing a felony by being here and not returning to Austin by this afternoon? Is it safe to say you have no immediate plans and plan to stay here indefinitely?
Have you ever heard the saying, Texas says, come and get it, come and take it? That's what we're saying. Look, Governor is very good at manipulating the truth, right? And what he's saying is not completely accurate. He knows that we're using a tool that was given to us by the founders of the Texas Constitution. He knows what the rules are. And he's trying to manipulate the situation to make it play in his favor. It's not going to work. The people of Texas know, they've seen this playbook before, and they want fair maps. I told you, we had 9 hearings on redistricting. We had hundreds of Texans show up against these maps. It was a handful of people that testified in favor of these maps. I'm talking about 500 people that showed up on Friday. Texas Republicans didn't give them an access to have their voice heard. They limited debate in those hearings. So what I say to the governor is, you need to have better policies. You're not gonna just eliminate 20.
I got it. So let me be clear. I'm a lawyer. A part of my practice is criminal defense work. There is no felony in the Texas Penal Code for what he says. So respectfully, he's making up some shit. Okay? He's trying to get sound bites, and he has no legal mechanism. And if he did, subpoenas from Texas don't work in New York. So he gonna come get us how? Subpoenas in Texas don't work in Chicago. He's gonna come get us how? So let me be clear. He's putting up smoke and mirrors. And I'm hopeful that the media doesn't follow that. I will also say this. I was on the redistricting committee. I sat in on the meetings. We had 3 sham hearings with no maps, where people were forced to testify that they were neutral on the maps because of our processes, when actually, I would say about 99.9% of the people were against it. So they set it up. So when the litigation happens, because it's going to happen, trust and believe, right? That there will be testimony saying that everybody was neutral on it, which is, excuse my French, a damn lie. Then, when they got the map on Wednesday, and let me be clear, it was the worst kept secret in Texas. I was on the redistricting committee, and I was wondering in January, why I'm on the redistricting committee? I mean, it ain't a redistricting year. And we didn't meet once, right? But this was always the backup plan, always. I sat in on the hearings. It was a joke. The chair of the redistricting committee, Cody Vasut, is a lawyer. In the legislature, he is the expert on points of order. He knows the law. Cody pays attention to detail. During the redistricting committee meetings, well, I hadn't looked at anything. I don't know. I ain't seen no maps. Yeah, whatever you say. So you peeing on me and you telling me it's raining and you expect me to believe it. Wrong answer. When they finally had the one public hearing with the map, and the secret was out. The stuff is going to get filed on Wednesday, and we're going to have a marathon hearing on Friday, is what they said. The plan was filed on Wednesday, and they had a 10-hour meeting on Friday. And the thing that was the most offensive to me as a person who went to these and asked questions about these, and let me be clear, the districts that are targeted overwhelmingly are Black districts. Okay? They are pitting Jasmine Crockett against Mark Vesey, and they are pitting Al Green against CD18, where there's a Black representative. If you don't know who sat in CD18, I live in CD18, by the way. Barbara Jordan, Mickey Leland, Craig Washington, Sheila Jackson Lee, and Sylvester Turner. So those are the people they're trying to take out. So I'm real upset about it, and my constituents are real upset about it. But it's really interesting that the map person who says that some law firm drafted the maps and he don't know that much about the maps, I felt like I was in a bad edition of an episode of White Man's Burden. For the most part, he told us, grown people speaking to us as if we were kids, said to us, you need to be happy. We didn't have to give you any hearings in the first place, and we know what's best for you. Well, I respectfully submit that they don't know what's best for us. They do not know what's best for us. And let me also be clear. My constituents demanded that I be here. So you think I'm gonna listen to Donald Trump and Greg Abbott and Dan Patrick and the Attorney General who can't treat his wife right and who lies on documentation? So I think he needs to worry about going to jail. But my point is this: we, the Democratic contingent, we are paying attention to what our constituents are demanding of us. They've literally told us, if you don't quorum break, we will primary you. That's how important it is. People wonder, why should New York be concerned about what's going on in Texas? Why should anywhere be concerned with what's going on in Texas? I'm gonna tell you why. My grandmother says this: if you allow yourself to be a rug, people will step on you. No one was paying attention to North Carolina in 2024. There were 7 Republican Congress people, there were 7 Democratic Congress people. Guess what? The Republicans rigged the game in North Carolina, and they took 3 seats. I'm gonna say this one more again, that's Ebonics for those of y'all who don't speak it. They took 3 seats. Congress has a 3 Republican majority. Ding, 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 ding. So we weren't paying attention to what was going on in North Carolina. And look what we have. We got that big, ugly, terrible bill shoved down our throats. So guess what? I was paying attention. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Texas will not be North Carolina. We will not give him what we need. And we're marching, we ain't fleeing, we're fighting, and we are so incredibly thankful that the governor has hosted us, because we need allies.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm
So-
like, who is, can you hear me?
I hear you.
She said, that's Ebonics. And I'm like, girl, what? And see, I'm like, is this a Jasmine Crockett 2.0? Like, when are you going to learn? When are these Black representatives going to learn? You want to comment on any of that, what she said?
Well, first things first, I'm going to try to do it like she just did it, with all the attitude and the sass and the neck rolling. Psych, we're not doing that. That is a U.S. Congress person. Do you all understand that she's a part of the United States government of the United States of America, the greatest country in the world? At the end of the day, they're not at work. The people of Texas did not elect them to be up here in Chicago eating Italian beefs right now, okay? By the way, if you ever come to Chicago, try the Italian beef sandwich dipped with hot peppers. It's delicious. However, that's what they're doing up here right now. That's what they're doing. They're playing, because if the Republicans were fighting against them to rig the map and she was on the committee, why didn't she say, wait a minute, we haven't had any committees, or wait a minute, I'm on the committee, where are the maps? point of order, I want to table this meeting until we get the maps. She didn't do her job, and they didn't want to do their jobs because their goal was to put on this show in the what do you call it? And the name of patriotism and fighting back and being bad Democrats. See, Miss Dana, they take this as gang banging. And that's one thing that I hate about this political stuff. We're not here to gang bang, okay? If you want to gang bang, call P. Ray. I will tell you how to gang bang. We are here to conduct business on the behalf of the people that we represent and be their representative to the government. That is it. So guess what? Now, none of them are at work. So I don't know how the Texas state constitution works, but if they have abandoned their jobs, then maybe Greg Abbott got to find somebody to sit in since they ran off and she can't be subpoenaed in Chicago. You can't stay up here in Chicago all this time because, baby, you got a social security number. People with social security numbers in Chicago got to pay. So you got to pay to stay up here. You're going to need to eat. You're going to need to sleep. You're going to need to wash yourself up. How are you going to continue to pay your bills if you've abandoned your job and come up here to hang with us in Chicago? They're going to go back and Greg Abbott is going to deal with them and they're going to try to make it a black thing. And I'm saying right now to Black America, Negroes, this ain't none of our business. That's Ebonics.
Well, the taxpayers of Chicago are going to pay for their lodging and their food and their office, you know. Yeah, the longer they stay up there. And that is and so the mayor, listen, Chicago turns up. So I don't think it's a headache. All right. And do you have a website yet? Because I know you just announced that you're running for Congress.
Yes, ma'am. And no, I don't have the website yet. It is coming this weekend. We have our petitions and booths on the ground. You know, a lot of people look at the past, the results of this district and say, oh, P. Ray, she can't win. They've never had a formidable Republican candidate. And they never had a P. Ray. We are outside. We're telling people, y'all know we done with these Democrats, right? And they say, yep, you right, girl. Let me sign that petition. How can I help you? I got some stamps. If you have an event, I'll give you some stamp money so you can cook. Like everybody is like on board with this. We're tired of the Democratic Party up here. We've been screaming it to the whole country for the past couple of years. The guy who, his name is LaShawn Ford, he was endorsed by the congressman. He was a former state rep. So we're going to assume that he is going to be my opponent if I get through the primary. And we're just going to make him run on his record. He's the one who voted for every tax increase that we're suffering from here in the state of Illinois. He voted for so that little girls could go get abortions behind their mothers' backs for free. But if those little girls get sick, then their moms are going to have to pay those medical bills. He voted to keep us a sanctuary city, sanctuary state, magnetizing our entire state for illegal immigration. Dana, do you know that they found an illegal with a grenade on the Chicago bus a couple weeks ago? A grenade. This is not a joke. This is not a game, y'all. I am throwing my hat in the race so that we can save the 7th Congressional District, because all roads in America lead to the 7th Congressional District, which is on the west side of Chicago and the western suburbs. And we don't deserve to be terrorized by the third world like this with the help of the Democratic Party using our tax dollars.
Thank you, P. Ray. I always appreciate you coming on. When you get that website, send it over to me so I can promote it. And of course, you're always welcome. And I'm definitely going to have you back next Wednesday. So if you have your website up by then, we can officially announce launch. Yeah, you're running.
Well, you can always donate to chicagored.org. Because I'm going to talk to the board to see how we're going to fund the campaign. So that's live and popping, chicagored.org.
Dana with the data. Dana with the data.